Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
I wake up every minute with a fever dreams. I push a mind to a limit where it needs to be. I work blind, got vision I don't need to see. I'm picking mind over matter, I believe in me. I need to find more hours in the day to breathe. Need to find more power in the way I be. And when my mind turns sour with the painful scenes, I need to scream out loud, I can't stop me. I wanna be the greatest like Rocky. You know I leave them all hates like a hobby. I'm out here making moves like a lobby. And if you ain't with me, it's your loss, see. I got my mind on the facts, I'm a python, grab what I like real fast. Choke until I have everything I attack, everything that I lack, everything that I want, and I see, matter of fact.
Cause I'm my own worst enemy. Only if I let it be. I can control anything if I can just think carefully. I control my destiny. Deep up in my mind I manifest it. Every morning I wake lost it.
Good morning and welcome to my Mind Your Matter. My name is Rick, and man, what a beautiful morning it is here. Nice, a little chilly. Um, Seems like it was in the upper 50s, mid 50s, and cloudy. Seems like it's going to rain today. I can feel it in my bones. Um, yeah, early show, right? Came in here early. Um, Something pretty awesome happened to me this morning, which was really unexpected. Um, I was having breakfast and I was minding my business. You know, my breakfast had arrived and I started eating my breakfast and I was looking at my phone because I had my Bluetooth on and I like to watch a lot of news and a lot of programming on YouTube. And this gentleman who was sitting across from me on the other side, he was by himself, a black gentleman, and he kept looking at me. And I was like, oh, I was just minding my business. I was like, huh? So the guy, he stands up and he walks towards my table and he tells me, there's something special about you. And I'm like, I was like, what? I took out my Bluetooth. I was like, excuse me? Like, there's something special about you, and I would like to pay for your breakfast. I was like, what? Like, he's like, is it okay if I pay for your breakfast? I'm like, yeah, I mean, I, okay, yes. He's like, but there is something special about you. And I was like, thank you very much. And he had an army hat on, and it's like I was like, thank you for your service to the army. I was also a former soldier myself. He's like, yeah, but there's something about you. Until he was just stuck on that, and I was like, well, I truly appreciate it, and thank you for for paying for my breakfast. So I was there, then I was just halfway eating. I wasn't even done eating. So I'm still there, I'm chowing down on my food. And at the end, I was already done. Then my waiter comes, and then the guy, he was like, "No, no, 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 come over here. I'm gonna pay for his food." And the waiter's like, "Oh, really?" He's like, "Yeah, he's very special. There's something about him that's very special." He's like, "Yeah, he comes here a lot. He comes here all the time. He's a very good guy, former military guy, and very good-hearted person, and he couldn't have given it to any other perfect person to give to." And I was like, man, that was really sweet, because I'm hearing this from the staff, two waitresses. He told them, and I was like, this is awkward but amazing at the same time, because I really never get acknowledged like that, or someone tells me, this is like for the first time in my life, someone tells me that I'm special. um I wasn't expecting that at all, at all. I was like, my waiter, he was like, oh, that's awesome, man. I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I did, but he's like, no, he kept saying that you're special. I was like, I kind of knew this, but I wasn't gonna like say like, oh yeah, I know I'm special. Like, no, I took it and I was like amazed. It kind of really made my day. Actually made my morning. and saved me $22 for sure. But I was not expecting that. I was not expecting that this morning. And the gentleman, he was so cool. Super, super, super nice. Um, didn't say much to me or anything. He just wanted to tell me that I was special, and he paid for my breakfast. That was how my morning started. How's your morning been? How's your morning going? It's a pretty good feeling when you have someone do that, for you and acknowledge you like that. It makes your heart more full, and it gives you hope. It does, and it was amazing, amazing feeling to have someone do that for me. I need to smoke. I need to light up. I always light up on my show. So here's my, yeah, okay. Zoom it in so you can see. Here's my baby. Here's my joint. And we're going to light it up. Smells so good. So let's go ahead and back that out. New features with the camera. Actually, this camera, there's a setting which I deactivated, but there is a setting that I can have this camera follow me all around the room if I wanted to, but I didn't want that. I didn't want my camera to be following me because then all the angles look all over the place. So I have it still here. But man, that was an amazing feeling to have someone come and pay for your breakfast, like, and then tell you like that you're special. Uh, I've never had someone do that to me. I never had someone stand up, like I'm sitting and they're standing above me and telling me this, and it's like, it's okay. Are you okay with me paying for your breakfast? I'm like, yeah, I guess, yeah. I mean, I wasn't anticipating that, but thank you very much. It's just like, yeah, there's something about you. I was like, I kind of know what it is, what it's about me, but I don't push it out on people. I don't push myself on people. I don't do that. They usually come to me and they tell me stuff, but I was not expecting this morning, and it actually made me feel really good about myself. And it's I will not forget that man's face or his gesture to me. That was really special. I had to come on here and at least put it on YouTube so that way it's recorded and saved, and I'll always remember this day. Smells so good. I'm gonna light it up. It's like a wake and bake, wake and bake. That is mostly, it's a test. It's an early bird special test today to see who's the early birds. Where are the early birds? But has that ever happened to you? If it has, please leave it in the comments. You can leave it in the comment section, or you can, at the end of the show, write what you could write, like, what is like something special that someone has done for you out of the blue that you wasn't expecting. For me, it was this morning. Someone paying for my breakfast and telling me that I was special. I That was so cool. It was so cool. It really, because I never had that happen to me. It give me some hope on society, and lets me know that there is still people, that have a very big heart and very caring individuals. And this person, you wouldn't even suspect like this individual to be doing stuff like this, and he just the way he did it and the way he said it was really impactful, and I'm gonna cherish it. And this one thing I'll probably take it to my grave, to my end of times, is remembering the special people, the special things that people done for me, and he'll be put on my list of the specialness that it changed, pretty really much changed my day, and made my day a more enjoyable day just by that one gesture. That's so freaking cool. So freaking cool. I'm gonna take out a card for the day. I'm gonna pick out a card. So I'll take out one card from my deck here, and this will be our daily card for the day. I'll take out one now. This is only a test, so this is like a maybe half an hour, 45-minute show. It's not gonna be a long show, unless it goes long, but that depends on the audience. That's not me. I am tired, but that's because I'm anemic and I get super tired fast in the mornings. I'm gonna take out a card for us. Just waiting for one to pop out. I hope you guys having a good morning, a good day, or a good night, wherever you guys are located. And for the ones that are rewatching, thank you so much. A card popped out. Card popped out. It's the Three of Pentacles. And I'll show you guys real quick. This is the card that popped out. It's the Three of Pentacles. There we go. This kind of feels like what I went through this morning with this image of me minding my business, taking care of what I need to do for myself. And I had someone come up to me and acknowledged me. Literally, I got acknowledged and was given something that I don't know. It's hard to even talk about, because it's like I never had that happen to me. But stay focused for sure. Stay on top of your tasks. There's always going to be individuals they're watching you, and they are acknowledging you, and they do admire you for who you are, and not knowing who you are, they still admire. So just keep doing what you're doing, and stay focused. Definitely stay focused. Let's see what's going on over here. Let me open up here it is. Hey, Albie, what's up? Good morning. Yeah, that was something this morning I would cherish. I would cherish it because I never had anybody, any stranger buy me breakfast. It was so weird. It was just the weirdness wasn't him paying for it. The weirdness was telling me that I was special. And the fact that I knew already that I am special, and it's just these confirmations and it's coming from people that I don't know. It's a really good feeling. Like I said, it gives me hope. It gives me hope for society. We still have a chance. Man, this medicine is good this morning. Medicine is good every day, but for some reason this morning it feels a little extra special. So Well, I'm happy to be alive this morning. I'm happy that I was able to open my eyes and be a part of this world again. Um, like I said, today it's not a really great day. It is cloudy. It looks like it's going to rain. I wonder what's the percentage for rain here is going to be for today. It's 54 outside right now with a light breeze. Yeah, definitely half an inch of rain today, and then tomorrow it's going to be about an inch and a half of rain. I am feeling it today. After I take my shower, I gotta put the new patch on and shoot myself up with my medicine, and hopefully that'll make me feel okay for tomorrow. Because when rain comes, my body, like, I'm already feeling it. My neck is hurting, my back is hurting. I got this cream that I gotta put on my back and the back of my neck. So I usually put about a gram or two between my neck and my back. So I usually put probably like 1 gram of medicine on my neck and then another gram on my back, and that usually helps with the stabbing pain. I'm yawning because I'm still tired. I went to sleep late last night. I want to go sleep early. I'm gonna have to move the show a little bit more earlier. So instead of starting late, like 9:30, I think I'm gonna have to start at like 8:30, and then wrap it up a little earlier. So that way I can get to bed on time and de stress myself, and that way I could fall asleep. Cause and that's my routines that I do for me to fall asleep sooner. But the mornings, I always like this time. I'm usually back in bed sleeping and having my second awakening like around 11 o'clock. I usually fall asleep for like an extra like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, and then I'm okay for the rest of the day. Let me know if that happens to you. If you um have like if you're anemic or if you have like any health issues that causes you to do what I do, sleep at night and then have a secondary sleep because of fatigue. Um, Let me know in the comments. But yeah, today's it's gonna rain. Tonight's gonna rain. Let's see what's going on in the world. Oh, I don't want to talk about that Diddy. Diddy do. Diddy did it all over you. Ugh, nasty. Yeah, there's not a weirdness. Let's see what's on the news. It's early in the morning, so it's only 9:35. Representative arrested for assault. Who cares? That story is already old. I don't need to be. They keep bringing it up and bringing it up and bringing it up, but they don't need to do that. Seems like there's some news up here in Connecticut. East Hartford mom says school illegally restrained 6-year-old son with autism. It seems like all these kids have autism. Like, how the hell all of a sudden that autism is like regular now? Like, I thought back in the days, like autism was like very scarce and very rare, and now it seems like it's a normal thing. Like, everyone has autism. Yeah. Let's see. I wonder how many people. I think they caught like 7 or 6 of the 10 that the inmates that escaped from a jail in New Orleans, which was kind of done like an in-house thing because the person that was behind the scheme got arrested for aiding. I guess it's like aiding and abetting or something. I think he got charged with a couple of charges. Um, let's see. Yeah, they still trying to start that race war for no reason. The person who bought my breakfast, he was a black gentleman, and he seemed like he was from like I would say I didn't like get into details, but I think he was Haitian. He was a Haitian black gentleman and retired, you know, and I'm gonna run into him again. I'll run into him again. I have a feeling I will. And next time I run into him, I'll purchase his breakfast. I'll buy him breakfast to return the favor. You know, because that was really nice and it's a good feeling. And I think I would like for him to feel that feeling too. Even though, let's say I'm not there when he goes, I could talk to the waiter and have him, you know, I'll give him the money. And then when he does come, give him a free breakfast on me. Then that will surprise him and that will make him happy. I like making people happy too. They made me happy today, and that's awesome. It was a great feeling. It was a good feeling. I love that. That's like such a positive feeling. Let's see what else is going on here. They're doing a lot of construction out here. You can hear them like jackhammering over there. Don't care about Jake Chapman. Fannie Willis caught in the wild doing Fanny stuff. Oh no. With Nathan Wade by her side. Oh my goodness. This girl's gonna get I'm surprised they haven't like gone and taken her off of being the attorney general of Georgia, of Fulton County. That's crazy that she's still running things there. She shouldn't even be working. She should be like taken off and thrown off. And I don't know why they're keeping these people lingering around. Like, no, we need to bring back accountability. We need these people to be like removed or reposted somewhere, but not in the position that she's in, that has other lives of others in her hands, and that's not fair for them because she's not a bias. She's not a bias. She's very one sided, and it's what makes this individual just a rotten person. Mm. Let's see. After customer defense cashier. I don't know. Something happened. Let me see this video real quick. It's caught on camera. It's just looking at the. Oh, he pushed him pretty hard. Wait, that guy looks old. Hold on. I think I can show you guys this because this is just news. It's from South Florida. That's a senior. Heated exchange turned physical in Miami Walgreens. Yeah, he's an older guy. He got shoved by he grabbed him by the neck and shoved him. And the guy, I guess he's wearing a blue hat, white shirt. He looks young and he looks athletic. Like he looks like he goes to the gym. Let me see if I can pull that up so you guys can see too what I'm watching, because I caught my attention. Let me bring it up here. It's gonna take me a few secs. Okay, let me hold that. Put that on pause. Let's go ahead and switch it down to the bottom. And then we're gonna use this one. Let's go ahead and set it up. Okay, this is the story I was looking at. This is what I was looking at, so you guys could see what I was.
Now to a sudden shove caught on camera at a Brickell Walgreens. A man confronting a customer who he says was screaming at the cashier. 68-year-old Manuel Casabiel says that he went to go pick up medicine at the store. This is right off of Southwest 13th Street when he came across the angry man who pushed him into the store shelves. Well, the heated exchange on store surveillance video leaving the victim bruised.
Okay. I found out that guy had been there before and done the same thing, and nobody had done anything. So this night, at that time, nobody was doing anything. I felt somebody had to get involved. This is a big bully trying to bully this poor woman.
Casabiel says that the other man left before officers arrived. If you think you know who he is, please call Miami police.
I would go search for him and then. I don't want to see the fucking view.
About the cognitive decline of the person who is in charge right now.
This is where I take issue with some folks on the left. We stand with journalists. We stand with the free press when they're going after their opponents like Donald Trump. But when they critically cover Democrats as, oh no, they're lying. It's fairy dust. It's not true.
If you're telling me that hundreds of people knew that he was not able to do his job, then where the hell was everybody?
Fox News contributor and Washington Examiner senior writer Joe Concha joins me now. Joe, good morning to you. So they don't like the book. And really the overall tone of the conversation is that all of this stuff is in the past. Why are we focusing on it now when we should be fighting back against Donald Trump? What do you think about that?
That sounds stupid.
Wow, my hair hurts just hearing that analysis there, Carly. Look, this is your friendly reminder once again that The View is not under ABC's comedy or Disney's comedy department, or in this case, unintentional comedy. This is actually presented as a product of ABC's news division. Look, on the back of my new book, The Greatest Comeback Ever, instead of having endorsements, I have quotes for what was going to happen during the 2024 election. And one is, Trump can't last as president for 4 years with his brain deteriorating at the rate that it is. That came from Nancy Pelosi. So this is a thing on the left that somehow Donald Trump is going through a cognitive decline. No, this is the biggest story, the failed cover-up of Joe Biden's cognitive decline that apparently has been going back, according to Jake Tapper, for 10 years to 2015. And only now is a big story because a book just came out about it after the fact, after the election. Look, Donald Trump is not going through a cognitive decline. He is the most active, most accessible, most lucid president that we have seen in our lifetime, based on the fact that he has taken thousands of questions from the very journalists that one View co-host was just talking about. So yeah, when they try to deflect and say, why are we concentrating on Donald Trump gets most of the concentration. It's nice to see at least some talk finally happening with some examination of the biggest cover-up of our lifetime, as I said, with Joe Biden, and the fact that he had the nuclear codes and the fact that he was not ready for that 2 a.m. phone call should be a concern for everybody that says to be a journalist, except for apparently the ladies on The View, guys.
I mean, let's be real. The Democrats want this story gone. I would say we are not even in the top of the first inning. We haven't even done opening pitch on this story. That is how much runway this story has to run. It's going to be big. Could be the scandal of our lifetime. This, however, not the scandal of our lifetime.
This is so cute.
This is fun. It was Take Our Sons and Daughters to Work Day at the White House, and Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt taking some really tough questions from kids, including this one.
Which is Donald Trump's favorite president besides himself?
It's a good question, because it would be probably himself. Perhaps he would say George Washington. I know he speaks very highly of George Washington, who was, of course, the first president of our great country. And he has his big, beautiful portrait hanging in the Oval Office above the fireplace.
Joe, what do you make of the human side of this
That's
press
so
operation
nice.
versus
Wait a minute, wait a
about
minute, wait
the
a
press
minute.
operation? They're
Okay. In the 4 years of Joe Biden, did you ever seen anything like what they just did? Like have kids interviewing and asking questions about the president and who's his favorite president besides himself is? And Caroline was like, that was a good one because he was going to say himself. But if he had to choose another, he would choose George Washington. I mean, yeah, I think the first president of the United States should have that honor of being one of the top 5 presidents of the United States. He's definitely on the top 3, and I think there's other presidents that could be in that top 5, and Trump is definitely gonna be in that top 5 when it's all said and done, and when all the corruption gets exposed, and it's going to get dirty. Trust me, it's going to get very dirty. A lot of people are going to get arrested. A lot of people are going to go to jail. A lot of people are very nervous now and trying to plan out their next move of what they're going to do. No, go over there. And we're gonna learn the hard way, but we're gonna learn and how the truth will set us free. And I'm so happy that Trump's administration is back in office and exposing the deep fakes pretty much and the gaslighters. Yeah. It's like everything like the Democrats did and stuff, it was like the opposite. They wanted to do everything opposite and run everything to the ground. And thank goodness they couldn't pull a 2020 on 2024. There was too many eyes monitoring the ballots, and like I thank the people for that. A lot of individuals sacrificed their time and donated their time to stand and monitor the polling sites and monitor everything. And I think that's what kind of made it more fair and legit. There was not going to be another 2020 again. But let's go ahead and continue with the view. With the Fox News.
Last couple of years.
Oh, it's open season there, right? You have all these different kinds of people from podcasts and new media, as we call it, independent media, that are asking questions. And in this case, I mean, that was a great question, right? And you saw Caroline Leavitt like almost taken aback with the humor of it all. Yeah, and Caroline actually will be facing questions like that soon. She just had a baby last July and has been going nonstop ever since. So yeah, what can we say? It's a human side. It's fun to see, And I think Abraham Lincoln actually is Donald Trump's favorite president, but I guess we have to look that one up.
I thought that she was going to say Ronald Reagan. And they have had the take your son and daughter to work day with previous administrations as well. It's always adorable to see. And I love when they show the shot of all the kids and they're like leaning back and just gets very adorable. So it's fun to play that clip this morning as well. Look at how cute they are. Joe, got to leave it there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, Joe.
That was so adorable.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian.
That was really adorable.
I'm Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube.
Okay, we'll stop there. Let's see what the House lawmakers are going to. Let me see.
Page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling
I get more
analysis.
options at the end. There we go. Tamper, humiliated. Don't really care about that. Whoopi's meltdown. Sky News. That's fun. Megyn Kelly. This clown over here. This is a waste of time. AOC, big time waste of time. Let's see. We can see this one. I think this one's gonna be pretty interesting.
Well, 3 House Democrats, Jillian, face potential disciplinary action in Congress and potential criminal charges from the feds after this scuffle outside an ICE facility in Newark, New Jersey on Friday. DHS says arrests are still on the table. For more on this, let's dig deeper with Tricia McLaughlin. She is the Public Affairs Assistant Secretary for the Department of Homeland Security. Welcome to America Reports in person.
Thank you for having me. It's nice to see you in person. It's great to be in person with you both.
So Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez has deemed it necessary for her to interject herself in an issue that would seem to have nothing to do with her district. And she's warning y'all, don't mess with the Democrat members of Congress. Listen to what she said.
If anyone's breaking the law in this situation, it's not members of Congress, it's the Department of Homeland Security. It's people like Tom Homan and Secretary Kristi Noem. You lay a finger on someone, on Representative Bonnie Watson Coleman, or any of the representatives that were there, you lay a finger on them, we are going to have a problem.
Well, the problem would seem to be that those people may have been laying fingers or at least body slamming federal agents who were there. What do you say to the good Congresswoman?
I'd like to ask AOC, who does she want out of that detention facility? Is it the MS-13 members? Is it the known terrorists? Is it the child rapists? Is it the murderers? Who is she fighting for? Because she's not fighting for Americans. She's not fighting for American victims. And I'd like to lay out the facts. The fact that it was these 3 members of Congress who trespassed, broke the law, and stormed that ICE detention facility. They put law enforcement at risk. They put our detainees at risk, and they put our staff at risk. Had they asked for a tour, we would have happily facilitated one for them, but there was absolutely no notice. And the fact that they put hands, they body slammed, body rammed, push, shove, whatever you want to call it, it was assault on our ICE agents, and it's unacceptable.
Question about the mayor's office. They're arguing that when he was arrested,
he was on public property. He
exited the DHS facility and he was outside whatever the gate scenario is there. So that somehow makes the arrest not only unlawful, but completely unnecessary because he was on his way out. What's your response to that?
If there was any civilian who had stormed an ICE detention facility, trespassed, and broke the law, they would be arrested. The mayor is not in any special position just because he's a public official. Again, if he had asked for a tour, we would have coordinated and facilitated one for him. That was not the case, and those aren't the facts on the ground. I know he'd like to whitewash them, but he did break the law, and we'll act accordingly.
And yet here's what Benny Thompson said about all of this. He said, quote, "The law is clear. ICE must let them in when they show up to detention facilities. ICE needs to keep its hands to itself and treat everyone with respect. They are officers of the law, not Trump stormtroopers. More oversight and more unannounced visits are clearly urgently needed." As you've said twice now, Todd Lyons has said that all you had to do was ask and you could come in. But Benny Thompson seems to be inferring here with what he's saying is, well, if we had have asked, it would have cleaned the place up and whitewashed it. I guess I still think back to the Joe Biden visit in El Paso where they whitewashed the entire city.
And I like to know for Benny Thompson, is he aware that actually those 3 members who went on to storm that facility, eventually we actually coordinated a tour for them. So they in themselves in their press conference said, actually, they're good and proper conditions. So again, this is just a political stunt. I understand that mayor is running for higher office. He's running for governor, and he wants his 15 minutes of fame, and he's going to do that on the backs of our law enforcement, who are already facing a 400% increase in assaults against them. It's quite disgusting.
What about the other argument coming from the 3 lawmakers and the mayor, which is that because these illegal immigrants who are being held in these facilities are residing in their state, they are in some sense a sort of extended constituency to them?
Well,
does that hold any legal sort of merit?
They're in this country illegally, and they're under ICE custody. And we have some of the highest standards in the country. But I'm not seeing these Congress members, these mayors, going to their own facilities who are housing detainees that are U.S. citizens. They seem only concerned with illegal aliens. Again, I don't understand why they're fighting for members of MS-13, why they're fighting for murderers, child rapists. What about the American victims?
Yeah, the only thing I could think of, and other people have thought of, is if you could make it difficult to deport a gang member, you're not going to be able to deport any non-criminal illegal aliens. I want to ask you about another case that's pending now in the Supreme Court. This is the Trump administration has asked the Supreme Court for permission to deport some 176 suspected gang members who have been held in Texas, saying that they're dangerous. The petition to the Supreme Court says, in part, some 23 putative class members recently barricaded themselves in a housing unit for several hours, threatened to take hostages and harm ICE officers. It's described in the appended declaration of Joshua D. Johnson, acting field office director for the Dallas field office of the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Interesting in this case that you're not asking it to be decided on the merits. You're just getting the Supreme Court to weigh in on whether or not district judges can order these nationwide injunctions.
Yeah, President Trump has been facing a historic number of injunctions, and they're trying to make it more difficult for us to deport these vicious, violent, criminal, illegal aliens. I mean, for example, these 200 or so Venezuelans, they're not just your typical everyday Venezuelan. They are members of Tren de Aragua, which is a highly sophisticated gang. How does Tren de Aragua enrich themselves? Not only do they drug traffic, they traffic young women throughout the country, sex trafficking and labor trafficking. These are horrendous individuals who maim, rape, and kill Americans for sport. And these are the people that Secretary Noem and President Trump are trying to get out of this country and lock up. On the other hand, you have Democrats who are trying to keep them on U.S. soil and even free them onto U.S. streets.
Super quickly before we let you go, this gang, Venezuelan gang called Anti-Tren, is this on your radar? How worried should people be? Real quick.
They absolutely are. It's a smaller gang at this point. They are a rival to Tren de Aragua, but it's important to note because they're young, they are trying to establish themselves with turf, their own turf, and sometimes you see more violence because of that.
Yeah, they like to think of themselves as a sort of TDA on steroids.
Exactly.
All right. Tricia, it's great to see you. Thank you for dropping by. I hope this will be the first of many times.
Me too. Thank you, John.
Thanks.
That's wild.
Hey, everyone. I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Ferris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern. Or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.
But all the others I don't watch because it's just a waste. It's a waste of time. There's another arrested by ICE. A drunken driver arrested by ICE. Lord, and this is where Minneapolis, St. Paul. See what Fox has. Testimony continues. I don't care about that case. Okay, nope. Okay, Letitia James, that she's a horrible person. Okay, I'm not gonna care what the diddy do. Let's go ahead and back out of this one. Let's go ahead and take that out. And then let me see if I can find something. Let's just stop this. Exit this screen. See what they recommend here. Okay. Yeah, New York is turning is garbage, man. Because the gangs out there are destroying like the neighborhoods. They're destroying entire neighborhoods, and like Brooklyn is collapsing, and no one's doing nothing. That's the problem. They're letting these individuals wreak havoc. And when is it gonna stop? Do we have to get the military to come in and sweep all the streets and get rid of all these individuals all at once? I mean, it's gonna have to happen. It's gonna have to happen that way. But I'm looking for. Let's see. I hate the sound of brakes like that. That's a sign. Every time I hear it, I know it's something. I hate when they that brake sound. It ties into a lot of my childhood trauma from my experiences. And then I remember hearing those brakes like that, and then experience the craziness. Yeah. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you're going to have to go back and watch. It's a lot of years of me talking about stuff like that. I have more videos than I do subscribers, but it tends to be that way, and it's meant to be that way because I prefer a low count. I mean, if I get to 500, I'm cool with that. I just don't need too many people. I've been getting a lot of videos of Puerto Rico. It's like thinking about maybe going this year. I don't know. Oh, they arrested another fugitive. So the fifth prison escapee arrested. And he was initially jailed for second-degree murder. Maybe we could take a look at that. I don't know, it's growing my interest, so maybe I could show that one. It's from Live Now from Fox. Don't want to interrupt me. Benny Johnson's going live. Let's see if I can find okay, I'll leave that for later. I'm not getting recommended too much stuff. I mean, besides the You Lied to Us, which the Democrats gaslit and lied to the American people, the public, and hit a lot of negative things that ruined like the past 4 years. Was like we went so backwards, and then so many people came through the border. You could hear when I did these stories, like back in the days, you know, when I talked about this, and I was telling you, oh, how many people came through that border and the type of people that came through that border. And now it's the numbers like way up there into like the 20s, you know, like in the millions. Like there's no way of really keeping count of the gotaways that just walked through like nothing. It's It's amazing. I'd say right now, a lot of really crooked individuals. Yeah. Maybe we could take a look at this one. I just want to make sure. Bring this over. I gotta get it all set up. A couple of things I gotta watch later. Let me see. The prison, the jail system. Okay, and this one is okay. So let me just push these back to the beginning, and then I'll show you guys two more videos, and then I'm done for the morning. Then I'll be done. I'll come back this evening around 8 o'clock, and I'll do something then. So that way I could, if I do 2 hours, it's fine, because I could get off at 10, and I can be done with the show by 10. So let's go ahead and set this up. I'm not quick. My hands are like not quick. And trying to do this again like how I used to, it's not good. I think we should do this one first, because this was with the inmates. So let's check out story about the inmates here from Live Now from Fox.
We do have to switch gears here to a bit of breaking news. This is a story that we've been following since it first broke last Friday. 10 inmates who escaped from a jail in New Orleans. Another one has been captured. I want to put this up on your screen. This is a tweet that we have there from the Louisiana State Police saying that the 5th fugitive arrested, it's an escaped inmate. Law enforcement agencies working collectively to locate the inmates who escaped from the New Orleans Parish Correctional Facility.
How did he get those clothes?
16th. They've now arrested 19-year-old Corey Boyd, and that's the picture that they had there of that arrest taking place. Also hearing from the Attorney General there in Louisiana saying captured inmate Corey Boyd is now back in custody. He was originally incarcerated on charges of second-degree murder, attempted second-degree murder, and aggravated battery. He will now face additional charges related to that escape. And so we wanted to bring you this update here on Live Now from Fox. If you've been following this story closely, we know that Louisiana State Police have been recapturing those inmates who did escape there from the jail. Again, Corey Boyd there on your screen. He is the 5th to be caught. He was briefly spotted last Friday, hours after the jailbreak happened in the French Quarter on surveillance camera video. Boyd, though, is accused of killing Brandon Fees during a car burglary back in 2024. Boyd, though, has since been taken into custody by a task force that surrounded an apartment building there in the city. His recapture leaves 5 fugitives still on the loose just 4 days after they escaped that New Orleans jail. I want to put this up on your screen. These are some of those other inmates who are still at large at this point. This is what those New Orleans police officers have put out. Again,
okay, so this one here, he's already been captured. So this one right here, he's been captured. But look at the charges on this dude. Second-degree murder charge and threatening officer charge. Holy shit, I don't even want to look at the other ones. I'm so scared to look at the other ones. I'm just looking at this one right here. I'm like, I don't even want to look at none of these. None of these. Look at this. Convicted of multiple murders. Multiple? And he was awaiting sentencing. This dude is on the loose. He's still running. This one here, second-degree murder and armed robbery charge, awaiting trial. This one's still running. Him, possession of a firearm, felony, burglary, and car theft. You know he's gonna try to steal something. Now he's out of jail. Now he's desperate, so he's gonna steal a car. He's gonna steal to get, you know. Oh man! And then this one, domestic abuse charge, car theft. He's the least of all of them. Why the hell did he leave? Dude, you're stupid. If that's all you got, domestic abuse at charge and car theft, dude, you would have been out way before these dudes are, because these are murder. This one had possession of a firearm, felony, burglary, and car theft. He's probably the least also. He's definitely the least compared to this one here. And then this one here, second degree murder charge, aggravated battery charge. Damn. These two are stupid. These two right here, the Leo and Anthony here, they're stupid. They're stupid. He has stupid tattoos too on his face. Like, they're not gonna notice you. You got a big bullseye in your face with all those tattoos. Come on, man. Like, why did you go? Why did you leave? Because of, dude, you only have domestic abuse charge and a car theft? I don't think you would have been there that much longer. I mean, this one here carries a little more weight because it's a possession of a firearm, which is a felony. He wasn't supposed to have a firearm on him, and he had a loaded weapon. So that actually is a more like threatful charge. So this is a more heavier charge, and the burglary with the car theft too. So, you know, this one definitely stupid. He's stupid. He should have never gone nowhere. He should have stayed in that damn jail. They would have like looked at that as a positive thing that he stayed, and they would have probably gave him like lesser time. And this one probably also, but that felony of the firearm, that sticks. That's something that they don't play around with. So that's why his is like more elevated than this one. This one, he's like the least. And he ran like a dumbass. Dummy. But the rest, murder. And three out of the of this group here, this one's already been captured. So he's out of the list. So there's 3 murderers still on the loose, and 2 car thieves, aka burglary on this one with the firearms, and this one he likes to abuse, domestic abuse. He likes to pimp slap. So that must have been this is I don't know why did he run. This is so stupid. He is stupid. Yes, but let's go ahead and continue.
Except for Corey Boyd, who's at the bottom there on the left-hand side of your screen. The rest of these 5 are still on the loose. That includes Jermaine Donald, as well as Leo Tate, Linton Van Buren, Antoine Massey, and Derek Groves. So several of those are facing serious charges as well, including for Linton Van Buren, second-degree murder and armed robbery. He is still awaiting trial at this point. Jermaine Donald also arrested on second-degree murder charges. And so we'll continue to keep you updated here on Live Now from Fox as we learn more information and more of these inmates are taken into custody. So we also know that a bit earlier today, we did hear from the Attorney General as well, that Attorney General talking about the man that they say was a New Orleans jail maintenance worker who was arrested, now being held on a $1.1 million bond after admitting that he turned off the water to a toilet that covered a hole in a cell wall. This allowed those 10 men to squeeze through the gap of one of the largest jailbreaks there in recent U.S. history. Putting this up on your screen.
Oh, he's the one
of the person that has now been arrested.
This is the one that was part of the escape. He works for the jail. So let me go ahead and hit play so we can hear more.
We do want to continue on with this. Of course, we do know that those inmates there during that escaped by yanking open a faulty cell door, moving the toilet, and then were able to exit through that hole. Graffiti on the wall included the message "Too easy" with an arrow and an LOL pointing to that gap. Putting that up on your screen as well. We'll get back to that tweet there from the Attorney General. But that's the image that
they mocked the police. Yo, they did a little graffiti here and they put "Too easy" LOL. Oh, no, they did not do this. And they wrote here what he was going to put "I'm innocent," but then they scratched it out and put "We are innocent." And then here is it OPSO? And then here it says, I can't really see it. I could get close to the television and see, but hold on. I mean, I can do it with my phone here. It says most hated. Most would be right here. Hated. And this one has a number 9 on the forehead. And then you got the tongue. And then they blurred something out here. It said OJC here, but then here they blurred this out. They must have wrote something there, vulgar or something. Because some of this is blurred out. You can see this here is blurred out also. This area here is blurred out. This here is blurred out. This here is blurred out. Like you can see where it's blurred. And then this up here is blurred because you see because they did a full face and you can see it's blurred because you lose the line. It's cropped out. So they cropped this out and they cropped this out here too. There must have been something they wrote there. And then down here, I can't see what it says. I don't know what it says. I can't really make it out because it's not clear. Because I'm looking at it on my phone. It says I don't know. It says something. If when you can. If they try to put catch us when you can. Can this be catch us? You see the U and the S. You can't really see it there. It's very hard to tell what it says. But here it says, it looks like it says when you can. Is a C, A, and an N. And then an arrow here, and it says too easy. And they escape through here. And they moved the toilet. Because the toilet's right here. Wow, the way they mocked them too. That is so... I can't see what it says on the top. I was trying to see what it says up here, but I can't make it out. What it says, like on the ear here or something here. I think there's like another thing here, but they blurred it out, so it must have been something pretty not good. And this one here too. And some little areas here, it's like blurred out. Let me see if the face has a little blurry. The cheek right here looks like it's a little blurred out. I'm looking from the phone. You know what? Let me get my other phone. This is more high definition, so let me get my other phone. Let me see if I can get this. Give me one sec. Let me just, I'm going through this real quick. Trying to figure it out with my phone. Here we go. Let me just, let me put that low. Now I can see with my phone. Yeah, I can't make out what it says there. I know for sure here I can make it bigger. Hold on, let me see if I can make it bigger. Okay. So here is where they scratched out the I'm innocent, and they scratched it out, and someone put we and then the R innocent, because whoever did this first and wrote it out like this, and then I guess one of the inmates came and scratched it out with the I'm, and then there's a one line scratch over it, and then you see the we is in a darker shade, and then the R and the innocent. Okay, let me continue this.
Been going viral ever since. That's the hole where those inmates were able to escape. Of course, we now know that fifth person has been arrested, 5 more still on the loose. And again, as it pertains to that other arrest of the maintenance worker, we do know that his name is Sterling Williams, and he's now being held on a bond amount at $1.1 million. Attorney General Murrow is saying that it's $100,000 for each charge that he is now facing, saying at the bottom, if you are helping any of these escaped inmates in any way, you too will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Wanted to get that story in for you here on Live Now from Fox. We'll continue to keep you updated. If we have any other updates, any more of those inmates capture, leaving you though with this live look there in New Orleans, there in the Big Easy. We'll slide away now for a 2-minute break.
This guy right here is an idiot. I don't know why, but this dude has escaped custody 4 times. Are you kidding me? We're gonna have to watch that one. Even Dog the Bounty Hunter. Maybe we could take a look at that. Let me just say that there. Definitely want to watch this one real quick.
Law enforcement across the area search for the remaining 6 people who escaped from the Orleans Parish Jail Friday.
Authorities say the Orleans Justice Center maintenance worker Sterling Williams helped them escape. Williams says one of the escapees, Antoine Massey, threatened to stab him if he didn't help. Now, a local provider of electronic monitors says that Massey should never have been placed in the general jail population to begin with.
Matt Dennis calls Massey an escape artist with a dangerous history, as Rob Masson reports.
When it comes to the arrest of Orleans jail maintenance worker Sterling Williams, Matt Dennis says he wasn't surprised.
And you're astonished that they keep this level of risk on the first floor of that jail.
Dennis, with ASAP Release electronic monitors, is talking about escapee Antoine Massey, who was accused in court documents of threatening to stab Williams prior to the jailbreak if Williams didn't cut off water to the toilet that was yanked out to provide an escape route for 10 inmates.
There isn't an ounce of this man's history that doesn't escape.
Dennis says Massey, who's wanted for rape and kidnapping in St. Tammany, as well as domestic abuse and theft in Orleans Parish, had prior escapes dating back to 2007 and was no longer a candidate for one of the hundreds of electronic monitors placed on Orleans defendants.
He had no intention of wearing an ankle monitor. 2 hours. And he cut it off. And we had him in jail pretty quickly. We went and got him.
Massey was one of 10 inmates seen jumping off of a back prison loading dock Friday morning, caught on a camera that was not being monitored in real time.
For that footage that we've all now seen, where you have the 10 inmates running outside the facility, is there a door sensor there that would alert the command center that that door is now open? Some kind of alarm that goes off?
No, that is not an exit door.
As New Orleans City Council members investigate vulnerabilities in the prison security system, Matt Dennis is helping police in trying to locate escapees like Massey.
These escapes happen. It was NOPD and state police and U.S. Marshals went instantly into our offender management system and identified the individuals in there that had previously worn ankle monitors.
And Matt Dennis says when someone cuts off an ankle monitor, he notifies the public immediately. It took more than 7 hours for the sheriff's office to realize the escape had occurred and notify the public after Friday's escape.
Wow. That's a pretty big head start. 7 hours? That's a really big head start. That's crazy. Let me see.
New Orleans are still on the loose, but someone new is behind bars. 33-year-old maintenance worker Sterling Williams. According to Louisiana Attorney General, Williams said he turned off the water in the cell before the men removed a toilet and a sink, cut through the steel bars, and then just slipped out. Williams says one of the escapees, Antoine Massey, threatened to shank him if he didn't do it, and another tried to steal his phone. Here with me now is someone who knows manhunts better than anyone, Dwayne Chapman, a.k.a. Dog, the Bounty Hunter. Dog, good to see you. Your take on this crazy story.
Well, there's a lot of different things. Number one, what is 10 felons doing in one cell? How did they ever get out of there without anyone watching them? So I think that far, not seeing surveillance, all that, I think it is definitely an inside job.
Well, so the maintenance worker admitted to turning off the water, but essentially is saying he did so under duress or threat. Now, why he wouldn't have just gone to someone and said, these guys are threatening me, that makes zero sense to me.
Absolutely. And how, if they're going to shank him, they're supposed to search the cell, especially that biggest cell, every single day. So how did anyone even have a shank? It's a lot different, like a county city jail than prison. So how did they, how'd they get it in there?
Is there any reason whatsoever in today's day and age with surveillance capability, all the high-tech surveillance we have, even in prisons that are under a lot of stress, and this was because overcrowded, obviously, is there any reason this should ever happen?
No, I've heard from a lot of people down there that it's a very poor, they don't have the money to do anything. They keep cutting their funding and taking away what they got. So when you do that, this is exactly what's going to happen. 10 men together, all violent, most of them gun charges. You start sitting in the cell and planning and some of them sit there for almost a year before they're given a preliminary hearing. So I don't know what's going on down there. It's absolutely insanity.
Now, I saw Jeff Landry, the governor of Louisiana, last night at the White House, and we talked for a few minutes about this, but I can tell you he wants answers. Apparently, Dog, it's not the first escape that one of these criminals has been part of. 2019, a jail in Northeast Louisiana. Macy's, the one who allegedly threatened to shank that janitor, cut through a chain link fence, hopped into a car driven by an accomplice, and then was later found in the day 300 miles away in Texas. So it has some experience in this.
Yes. And I don't know if he's the oldest one. The oldest one was somewhere in their 40s. And, he's the one running the show. And a lot of those guys, some of them's 19 years old, 21, 22. They don't know anything about anything. So, I feel sorry for them when they get caught, because they just added many more years. Well, a lot of them would never have gotten out of prison anyway. But it's a shame that police, sheriffs, jails are treated like this, because this is what's going to happen.
Do you believe that they instantly separated, break up the group? I mean, obviously there's too many people in one group to be able to hide, but they just went their separate ways?
Well, usually what they do is, they'll pair up, 2 or 3 will go, and then they'll have, in a few days, meet us at, some restaurant or they have a meeting place. But no, they don't all just, all split and go separate ways, or the cops would have caught them. Somewhere, some way, somebody is hiding the majority of them, okay? They're not all squatting in homes like they caught the guy today. So, it's terrible, terrible.
All right, Dog, thank you very much.
Hey, Sean Hannity.
All right, buck up. A Fox News alert. Louisiana State Police capturing the 4th of the 10 inmates who broke out of a New Orleans jail earlier Friday morning. The attempted murder suspect reportedly found inside an abandoned house.
And as the manhunt for 6 others continues, the DA says some of his staff and his family members are in hiding.
Yeah, who wouldn't? Nate Foy is live in New Orleans with the latest. Nate, you see anybody running around?
Haven't seen anybody running around quite yet, but yeah, it's day 5 of this search, and every single day that nobody is hurt from any of these fugitives is a blessing, because these are dangerous men charged with murder, aggravated assault, and domestic battery. So we know, as you mentioned, progress is being made with an arrest last night, but still 6 of the 10 fugitives remain on the loose. Take a look at Gary Price. He is the most recent fugitive to be arrested. Actually, the first one to be taken into custody since the first 24 hours of this search. Price is charged with first-degree murder. He was being held without bond awaiting his trial, and he'll now be taken to a state facility outside of New Orleans. As I mentioned, he's the first one arrested since Friday. Take a look at the map where the other 3 were found, all pretty close proximity within New Orleans, and a source close to the investigation tells me that authorities believe the remaining inmates are also still in the city, and that's not good news for the people who prosecuted their cases.
I am personally afraid, not just for myself, but for my lawyers who tried the case against the individual twice. We were asking for a life sentence of this man, and he is now at large. 2 of the lawyers who I tried that case with, who successfully went forward, able to get a conviction on that case. These lawyers got out of town this weekend with their families.
Yeah, so people who prosecuted cases leaving town, also the family members and friends of former victims also leaving town, concerned with what these fugitives might do. Take a look at this. So the 10 guys broke out of the jail using a hole in the wall behind a toilet. You can see right above that hole, they taunted officers, writing, quote, "Too easy, LOL." They then ran off from a loading dock area and crossed the highway. The Orleans Parish Sheriff said it's believed the inmates received help from someone inside the jail. 3 jail employees are suspended pending an investigation. Now, Louisiana State Police are warning friends and family of these fugitives that if they assist them and help them evade law enforcement, that they too will be held responsible. A source close to the investigation tells me they believe that they're getting good information, that they have good intelligence on these fugitives, but so far for the remaining 6, the timing has been off. So he made it seem that they've come close to arresting the 6 remaining fugitives. It just hasn't happened yet.
You know what's so amazing, Nate, is they found out that they left at 1 a.m. When they got up the next day, they found out they weren't there. They looked back at the tape and they said, well, at 1 o'clock they got out. But they didn't know until 8 hours later, and they looked at the tape. The question is, does anyone at the jail look at the surveillance cameras in real time?
So normally they do, Brian, and the person who was supposed to be doing that took a break to eat some food. So that was the first major security lapse here. Also, these inmates, some of the most dangerous inmates in this facility, were on the first floor. They're supposed to be held up on higher floors. Prior to that, there was a request from this facility to fix some doors that apparently you can knock the door off the track. And that is what the inmates did to get into that cell, where they were able to dig that hole behind the toilet, which ultimately facilitated their escape. So there are multiple layers of security failures that ultimately led to this escape. And
okay, my question is, where were all the police officers? Where were the police? I mean, that's a jail. So, I mean, I'm thinking minimum staff, maybe 5 officers? Minimum? Where were all the officers? Nobody was monitoring the cameras? I mean, I think that's a pretty clear camera footage. We're looking at a dock area. Like, that's like a docking bay area. And you're going to tell me nobody's monitoring the cameras? There's no sensors where it could tell you if there's movement, that like there's movement monitor, you know, like has a sensors out there. There's nothing. No wonder these guys taunted them, saying too easy, LOL. That is, wow, incredible. That's only in America.
now the priority is making sure that they catch the 6 remaining fugitives who are still out there.
It's unbelievable.
Right. Thank you so
Thanks,
much,
Nate.
Nate. Also, it is law.
So let's bring in Tulsa County, Oklahoma Sheriff Vic Regaldo. Sheriff, great to see you. Have you been in contact with authorities in Louisiana, and how is the coordination going?
We have not. I have not directly had any contact with the authorities in Louisiana, other than the fact that we've been notified that the potential of these individuals coming into our state does in fact exist. But we've received nothing specific. But it is certainly on our minds and the minds of law enforcement here in Northeast Oklahoma.
Do you feel as though someone's got to have oversight, the FBI or U.S. Marshals, in order to be able to pursue people from state to state and not lose things at the border, not lose intelligence at the border?
Absolutely. I mean, an escape of this magnitude is going to involve multi-jurisdictions to include local, state, and federal authorities. And certainly potentially could stretch into, again, other states. So this is a large scale type of manhunt, and it's going to take all hands on deck for sure.
So, Sheriff, as I watch the inmates knock the door off the tracks, move a toilet out of the way, and cut through sheetrock, and then say, too easy, mock the jailers. You're saying to me in the break that this is indicative of a huge problem with incarceration and jails around the country. You're not as surprised as, let's say, the average American is?
I'm not surprised at all. Jails have typically been ignored throughout our country. They're expensive to run. Unfortunately, very few people want to work within them. And when you start to have infrastructure issues, more often than not, they're ignored until you have something like this. So hopefully this, if anything positive comes out of this, it will be to shed a light on what is going on with our nation's jails. They are an important part of the criminal justice system. Obviously, they house some of our nation's most dangerous criminals, and they're unfortunately being ignored across the country. And so we need to definitely do something about it. Bureaucrats need to do something about it instead of ignoring it. And again, this is an issue that is occurring across this country.
You know, I have a radio affiliate, KRMG, right in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I'm sure they're worried about these murderers that are now out and about. What's your message? What is the danger?
Well, when you have individuals who have been charged with murder, they have nothing to lose. These are dangerous individuals, obviously. They've already shown their capacity for violence. And so alerting the public in a timely manner is extremely important. And coordinating among law enforcement agencies is also extremely important. But I will tell you, Brian, that here in Oklahoma, law enforcement is more than capable and ready to assist in the search for these individuals. And I would remind these individuals that Oklahoma is a constitutional carry state.
Yes.
So I would tiptoe lightly if they were to come into Oklahoma.
Absolutely. But it does concern me a little, Sheriff, that you haven't been contacted yet and given any information.
Yeah, and information comes as they develop it. Maybe they haven't developed anything specifically to Oklahoma other than the fact that there's a chance that they could enter into our state. I don't know, but hopefully we will start, as this search continues, we'll start to see that intelligence bulletins coming in and information coming in so that we can alert our citizens as quickly as possible and start taking the necessary precautions.
Yep. 4 are recaptured, 6 are out and about. Thanks so much, Sheriff. Appreciate it. Stay safe.
You bet.
Appreciate what you
Take
do.
care.
I'm Steve Ducey.
Hey,
I'm
it's
Brian
crazy.
Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart.
Right.
And click here to subscribe.
That's just wild. Let me bring it back over here. That's wild. This world is so interesting. The things that they go on a daily basis. It's just they'll catch them. I mean, I don't know if hopefully they'll catch them all alive. But the ones that are retired, the ones that are the murderers, they're gonna see like long, lengthy time. So I don't know if they want to live to, and plus adding this escape, because you understand, the longer it goes, the more worse it is for you. So I don't know, dead or alive, I guess. They're gonna have to make that decision. Either they live and they spend decades and decades in jail, or they just put themselves out and not have to deal with that. Period. So it's a tough decision, but I'm sure they don't want to live in jail for the rest of their lives. I think they probably wouldn't mind taking their lives. That's just, yeah. Those jails are not the greatest. They're not they're very, very uncomfortable and it's just not a good place. Not good. It's a different world. It's like another world. Jails are like another world. And it's a world that I'm not looking to never be a part of. I don't need to join that group. Just I never, good, knock on wood, never had anything with me or gone to jail or anything like that. Nope. I'm a good member of society. But with that said, I'm gonna let you guys go. I'll be back on here later this afternoon, actually this evening. Possibly let's shoot for I want to shoot for about, I don't know, what time is a good time? You let me know in the comments. So that way I could figure out what's a good time to broadcast. Because I'm just jumping back into the ocean again of YouTube. And it's gonna take me some time to adjust to what's like the most comfortable time and the most convenient time for those who watch. So I'm being considerate. So I like the early morning is good. I'm just really tired and I'm ready to like take a nap. I am so ready to take a nap. And then wake up in 2 hours. But I can do this show later on this if anything breaks throughout the day, I'll definitely come on. But I think 8 o'clock is a good time. That way it's not too late and it's not too early and not too late. 7, 8 o'clock, those times are good. I mean 7. Nah, because I mean 7 is cool, but I think 8 o'clock is probably be better because like the infinity like symbol of the 8. It's a good probably good time to start. And then if I could go 2 hours, that would be awesome, and I could do a good 8 to 10. And we'll go over whatever news the day provided me to show you guys, and then I could give my opinions on it. My opinions on the people that escaped, they're shit out of luck. They're gonna be charged with that, and then the longer that you're out, it adds more in the back end. So these dudes are in really bad shape. They're not in good. It's not good. But you see how the infrastructure needs to. I mean, I hope Trump could do something where he could put funding for jails to either build new jails or bring them back to a working properly order, but more secured. Put sensors outside your jail to make sure if someone's walking outside, it'll pick up, an alarm will pick up on it and it'll activate to let people know, let the officers know that there's someone in activity walking in those areas. I'm sure they have that technology. Come on now. The military has it. I mean, I'm sure the jails have it. If they don't, it's what are they spend? What are they doing with the money? Because do we need Doge to go pay visit to the all the jails and stuff and making sure that they're spending the money properly? Because I feel like there's something wrong, and these jails are I think they should be in better shape. I mean, you gotta Louisiana. That's uncalled for, but it looked like it was shitty construction. Don't you think that whole area should have been cinder blocked or had metal bars to so they couldn't escape? That thing looked so a shoddy, a shitty ass construction. They did a shitty ass job, and the fact that they put a little arrow and they wrote "too easy," LOL, laugh out loud. That couldn't be any more priceless. I mean, whoever wrote that, you are a yeah. I mean, it's true. shitty construction, shitty system of where was the officers? You know, how many officers were on duty that night? Who was taking care of the perimeter? No sensors at all. But there was video footage, but nobody's monitoring the cameras. Like, what are they doing? Like, you're housing murderers. You're housing killers. You're like, I can't comprehend all this stupidity. It's a failure. It's a failure on all levels. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. Anyways, I'll catch you guys later. I'll be on later on today. With that said, continue having a good day, good morning, good afternoon. And if it's at night, have a good night. And I'll catch you on the flip side, and I'll be on. Let's go for 8 p.m. Eastern time. With that said, have a good one. Peace.